What is it with anthropomorphic animals in anime feeling so real? ODDTAXI is one of the new anime this spring season that is definitely odd. When the first trailer dropped, I had no idea what was going on, even after watching it multiple times. It did leave quite the impression on me, putting it down on my to-watch list. So, what is the premise behind ODDTAXI? It stars Odokawa, a simple taxi driver with a pretty simple life. However, the customers he picks up are nothing but simple. They're pretty eccentric in their personalities and end up striking conversations with Odokawa, these conversations being the main hook of the anime. It's like that rare case when you end up talking to your Uber driver. But that's not all, as we also get to see the lives of these customers he picks up, with the mystery of a missing person lurking behind the scenes. Yeah, the premise doesn't exactly sound like something grand, especially with the way my anime list describes it. But here's why you should give ODDTAXI a chance. Don't be fooled by its appearance though. With the cutesy characters and rounded look, the anime is pretty mature in its themes and gets really dark too, with the characters facing real world struggles that you can relate to on a personal level. Like this guy who's trying to find love, or this guy who's trying to become internet famous. I feel you, man. Even our main character Odokawa seems to be shouldering some heavy burden too, with a tragic past. They all feel unique in a way I haven't felt before. It's kind of like Durarara, where though there's a main character, it doesn't feel like there is one, with all the multiple perspectives getting enough screen time to push the plot forward, melding together to form a stellar narrative. As I stated earlier, the main hook of the anime seems to be the conversations that occur both inside and outside the taxi. The dialogue is written in a way that feels really natural. These conversations feeling like something you could totally experience having, or at least overhear people talking about. It feels like I'm listening to a really weird podcast sometimes, as the characters just bounce off each other as they exchange words. The voice acting is also very distinct, as it helps to carry the conversations these characters have, making it also fun to listen to. Like in the first episode, before we actually hear our main character speak, we're treated to a late night radio show for a couple of minutes, and you know what? I absolutely loved that. And when the anchors of that same radio show hopped into the taxi, I could immediately tell who they were from the way they interacted with each other. It made me feel like I was in the presence of actual celebrities. And since it's a dialogue-heavy anime, most of the comedy is delivered through dialogue. It doesn't rely on slapstick comedy or over-exaggerated reactions, but trusts your ability as an audience to pick up these jokes, as subtle as they may be. It's also got a few references here and there that may fly over your head if you aren't paying attention. The anime also feels very intentional. And what I mean by that is, nothing feels put in there just to pad out the runtime. Everything you see, every conversation, every interaction, is there with a purpose to set something up for a later episode and drive the plot forward. It's some kind of crazy butterfly effect that you can tell is leading up to something big. Even the long pauses that happen during some conversations have a purpose. Nothing feels wasted. The art and animation are pretty good too. The characters, while not all that detailed, are drawn pretty well when they're on screen. The colors are vibrant and pop, and the backdrops are pretty nice to look at, and could serve as good wallpaper material if you're into that kind of stuff. With the OP being a treat for your eyes and ears, and since it's basically an anime centered around conversations, the animation isn't all wonky, and if you're really that kind of nitpicky person, the CG isn't that bad either. So, should you be watching ODDTAXI? Absolutely. With 3 episodes out right now, it'll be easy to catch up to. You're definitely going to enjoy it. And since it's an original work, there are no manga or light novel readers to potentially spoil the experience for you. But I'd like to know what you guys think about ODDTAXI. If you are going to give it a shot, or if you are already watching it, what are your thoughts about it so far? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like. And if you aren't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future uploads. This is BreadHead, signing off.